Greetings, salutations. First things first, let's make sure that you can hear me. Hit a 1 if you can hear me before we go on with the show. I just need to see a 1. Once I see a 1, we can get the show going. I don't want to be before you long. Unlike some preachers, they say, I'm not going to be before you long. I just got 8 points to preach to you. I don't want to do that tonight. I want to get in, pause, and I want to get this thing going, make sure we cover all our points, make sure we have a great understanding as always. And I hope everybody's doing okay. Hit that 1. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I'm just rambling. Hit the 1. And make sure you share. Because this is a topic that I think we all need to have. And I'm sure I'm going to ruffle some feathers. So make sure you hit the share. Okay, Miss Lynn, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get the show going. Thank you very much. All right. First things first, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. I took Monday off. I was going to go live, but I was like, I'm kind of tired. Had a busy week and have a very busy summer, believe it or not. I'm still going to try to bring you content, but, I'm going to be very busy, no cap. But last week I was going to do a live, and I'm still going to do that live next week. We were talking about sex, sanctified and sexually active. I want to finish that discussion next week. But we do have some things to talk about today. Let's start off with this. Lately, there has been a lot of shootings happening, people just taking guns and just shooting at random people, and people have been running for their lives and ducking and everything. But the thing that hurt me the most is when that idiot went into a school and started shooting children. That bothered me. It really bothered me. I was going to, open up with that last week. But like I said, I took that day off. But it bothered me to no end because to hear about children being shot up and no reason for little young children to be shot like that. That was horrible. And so people have been leaving their comments about it saying, oh, well, if this wouldn't happen, this. And then I saw one post where a guy said, I really think prayer should be implemented back in schools. And you've been seeing this a lot with every time something happens in school, they say you should bring prayer back to school. With that, I say to this person and anyone that feels that way, you got to understand that, we're not in a Christian country. This is not a Christian country. There are different faiths. So there are different beliefs and non-beliefs. So if you were to implement, quote unquote, prayer back in school, to what degree? You cannot, if it's a Muslim there, you can't say, well, we're going to pray to Jesus Christ or we're going to give honor to Jesus Christ, even though they do give honor to Jesus Christ. I think you understand what I'm saying. They don't deem him to be the Son of God. They don't deem him to be God. If you apostolic, you believe that he's God, They don't believe that. And then you have atheists, you have Buddhists, you have Hindu, people who practice Hinduism. You have different faiths. So when you say bring prayer back to school, you got to really think about that. You can't really impose your religion on somebody else because that makes you no different than our oppressors. You can't do that. Okay, that's one thing. And you got to remember, prayer was never taken out of school. Teachers or positions of authority cannot implement prayer. They can't force children to pray. But when I was in school, they said, prayer can, there's no prayer in school, but we had prayer meetings all the time. They didn't say the students couldn't pray. They just said the teachers cannot lead them in prayer and everything else. So from when people say bring prayer back to school, it never left. It's just a matter of teachers cannot make people stand up and pray to their God. And I think that that's a good idea. So in response to that, I think the prayer starts at home. As parents, you pray that your children are covered and that you are covered, and I think that's a prayer that you should do at home. You can pray for your children. God is omnipresent. So you don't necessarily have to impose your will on other children or other families of faith or whatever in school. So I don't think that's a great idea. I hope you guys can understand that. So the next thing that happened a couple of days ago, I left a post because I was at a service. I'm not going to say where. But at this service, I saw a lot of different dress. I saw men dressed one way. I saw women dressed one way. And I saw some things that I was absolutely bothered by. And it led to this post. And I was actually in church when I posted this. I said, I understand we are in the come as you are church era, but there has to be a limit to what is acceptable. Argue with your unborn. I always got to add my little spiel at the end there. But what happened was I was seeing some things that I thought were inappropriate. I don't think I understand when you're talking about jeans and when you're talking about pants on women and everything, I'm not even there. Even though I have my personal feelings about men wearing hats in church, I'm still okay with it. My band members or people that, I lead, they come into rehearsal with hats. I don't say anything. I don't make them take it off or anything. But when the service is going on, I do ask them to remove their head coverings. But that's just me. That's my personal thing. And as a leader, I can tell you take your hat off. And as somebody that's my subordinate, you have to take their head off. I'm not talking about necessarily being modest. Yeah, I'm talking about being modest. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Because at this thing that I saw some things that I know should not be worn in church. And so when I left this, it started a discussion with a couple of friends of mine on my page. And they were taking and saying, well, you got to love people as they are. And I do love people as they are. But when you come into church, you got to understand that you're not coming to a situation where, you're seeking God and you come in what you got. But if you make a conscious effort to put on Daisy Dukes with your butt cheeks hanging out and a low cut thing that if you breathe wrong, we're going to see all your symbol, all your gajumbas. We're going to see everything that's happening with you. Something is wrong at that point. And so I'm not ready to believe that people are that dumb that they don't understand that they're going to a church. We're not that stupid. I'm not going to ever believe that people are that dumb that when you woke up in the morning that you said, oh, I'm going to church. Let me put on the tightest, youngest Daisy Duke jeans with all my butt jingling out of it. I was like, dude, as a man, you could be like, yeah, somebody said, well, I know you look. It's not about me looking at that point. It's like, at what point is everything unacceptable with what we wear in church? I don't care. It was some young men there with hats There were women there with baseball caps. There were, women who carry themselves like men with baseball hats. That's not what I'm about. I'm talking about you actually came to church like that. Now, I don't care what you say. If I was to ask you to go to a gala affair for the president, I'm sure you would not wear Daisy Dukes. I'm sure you would not wear something that's so low cut that your breast is going to pop out at any moment, especially if it's got nets in it. Some of the stuff that I was seeing, I was like, no. You knew you were coming to church. You knew this. And so I'm feeling like at what point is what we're wearing unacceptable? And so one of my friends left a comment and he said this, Rick Robinson, you don't know where the girl with the shorts with booty cheeks just came from. Huh? Nor what she had to do to get there. That was my only point. We went back and forth. That was his only point of the expression. We got to stop judging people that don't have anything to do with us. And he said he come with peace, but I choose violence. I told him I choose violence. That's unacceptable. We don't do that. We don't know what she had to come through to get there. But I understand all of that. But at the same time, I'm saying it's an insult to you, whoever that is. It's an insult to you for me to believe that you didn't understand that you were coming to a church. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Since I'm going here, tell me if I'm wrong. You can always throw up the like symbols. You can always do that. I'm okay with that. You saying I'm right, that's fine. If you saying I'm wrong, that's fine too. But I'm not ready to believe that you don't know where you're going. I'm not ready to believe that when you woke up in the morning and knew you were going to a church service, that you thought that wearing my butt cheeks out will be the proper thing to wear to the house of God, which is what most people call it. I'm just sorry. I'm just not ready to believe that. You can tell me if I'm right or wrong, okay? But anyway, let's move on. So something else happened this weekend. So Michael B. Jordan, who was dating Lori Harvey, they broke it off. Now, I usually don't care about stuff like this. This happens. Celebrity marriages and relationships never last. But this started a conversation that led to this conversation we're going to have today. No, you can't go to a 9-to-5 like that. No, you cannot. You cannot work anywhere in corporate America and wear that. They will get rid of you. I don't know why we deem to be, to come before God's presence in any old way. We say, here you go, ninja. Just take whatever whatever. I'm going to come as I am when I go here. But here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing to argue this point. A lot of the clubs that these same people go to, some of them have dress codes. Why is it that they can honor those dress codes? And you know to ask before you get there. What, do they have a dress code? Do we have a dress code? Yes, they know they have a dress code, but so they find out. But when it comes to God's house, we always deem where you can't have no standards. Come as you are. Come as you are. What good is the come as you are thing if you leave like you came? See, we're not going to talk how that's discussion. What good is coming as you are if your whole intention is to leave as you came? We don't know what you went through to get there, but why would you go through everything to get there if you plan to leave the exact same way? You could have just stayed at home. So I'm never going to get on the ship and say, oh, you don't know what they had to do to get here. Well, obviously we know what happened for you. What goes through your mind to wear something like that? I understand wearing jeans, wearing what you got. We're not talking about somebody coming in from the street and dirty and dingy and whatever. We're not talking about that. You actually went through the whole process to put somebody else's hair on your head, to put somebody else's butterfly lashes on, to get all made up, to put this on with your butt cheeks hanging out in church and walked around 3 or 4, 5 times. And for what reason exactly? You didn't come for God. You came for attention. And I'm not judging you. But if you wearing something like that, what other reason? You knew you were going to church. You mean to tell me in your whole closet, you don't have anything that you could have wore? Exactly. But anyway, I usually don't cover the Michael B. Jordan situation, stuff like that. But the conversation about the disconnect, because there were women that sided with Lori and there were men that sided with Michael B. Jordan. I don't know Michael B. Jordan. We don't text, we don't go to the game or whatever, but he seems to carry himself very well. He's 35. He's looking to settle down. We know Lori Harvey. And we're going to get into that when we get later on. But when I saw this, I was like, man, this is crazy because they were only together for a year. From what I'm understanding, Michael B. Jordan wanted to take this thing seriously. He wanted to marry her. But she didn't want to get married. For what I understand, she wasn't ready to do what she wanted to do. She didn't want to settle down. Now, me personally, I understand that she doesn't want to settle down. But everybody else knew about Lori Harvey. There has been a rumor.
She belongs to the streets.
There has been a rumor about that. I don't know. I ain't never messed with her. But I'm worried about the hypocrisy, the way some women rallied to her. But then when a man does it, oh, we gonna get into that. But anyway, let's get on with the show. Now, thank you for joining me. We're getting ready to, they're coming to church to dress the night before. Probably, you absolutely right. But thank you for joining me. Now, Preachers Gone Wild is gonna be different today. Never in Preachers Gone Wild did I ever think I would personally address somebody that I know personally. Personally. Yeah, I guess that works. But we're going to do that today. But before we do that, so Preachers Gone Wild number 29, we're here. And we're just going to start with something that I have been seeing floating around the internet. It's been a picture of a man, looks like a man on top of a woman. I guess according to the caption, that they were praying that, they can conceive a baby, and this is what was happening. I've seen this post all week. So I actually did my research on it. Turns out that wasn't what this was about. They were reenacting in the book of Kings where Elisha, I guess the boy was dead, and the prophet actually went and laid on the boy to heal him. So this is one of those church illustrations gone wild. It wasn't about what the caption said. And actually, I went and found where the pastor of the church actually talked about this and said what it really was. So everybody that was posting this, I hate to be the one to tell you that you were wrong. This is why I'm always one to try to research more. And even though sometimes I drop the ball myself because I see something that I just posted, but I actually wanted to make sure what was this? What was the backstory? And that was the backstory. He was reenacting the book of Acts. Now, we do need to watch it on these illustrations because this is how stuff like this happens. When you see somebody post something like this and then you like, oh God, what is it now? You see a man, or that's not even a man. Actually, it was two women. I mean, yeah, that's, let me find it. Yeah, that was two women, but it wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't somebody having sex on the front of the church. I don't think we are there yet. Do you think we're going to end up there? That's the question, but we're not there yet, okay? So next one up. This is going to crack you up like it did me. Check this out.
We got first and last names of 6 witches that are in our church. And you know what's strange? 3 of you are in this room right now. 3 of you in the room right now. You better look in my eyeballs. We ain't afraid of you, you stinking witch. You devil-worshiping Satanist witch. We cast you out in the name of Jesus Christ. We break your spells. We break your curse. We got your first name. We got your last name. We even got an address for one of you. You so much as cough wrong, and I'll expose you in front of everybody in this tent, you stinking witch. You were sent to this church to destroy us. You were sent to this church to lure us in. You were sent to this church to cast spell. Listen, some of you been sick because you befriended that witch. 2 of you in my wife's ladies' Bible study, and you know who you are, and we gonna ask you to get out.
Something is really wrong with this dude, man. I understand that because, believe it or not, I am one of those people that believe witches do come to your church. They probably are faithful members, to be honest with you. Some of witches are faithful members. They are people that you probably speak to every week. I don't think that there are people that just come with the witches, the horn, the wart on their nose and green with the cat and the hat and the broomstick. I don't think that's what witches are. I believe there are people that you know. Sister telling me about it, whatever her name is, she may be a witch. You don't know. But the way he was going about it was just wild to me. What is wrong with this dude? Can somebody please tell me if this is your pastor? Is something wrong with him? Why is he always angry? Why is he always threatening violence? Why is everything with him throw them out or whatever? What's going on with this dude? Can somebody please tell me? I don't know what's wrong with this dude, but every week it seems like he's going to make it here because every other week he's doing something, or every other time somebody send me a video of what this dude is doing. That is crazy. But that is not the craziest thing I saw. Sometimes you get happy and you want to praise God in your way, and you don't care what's in your way, and you're going to do it no matter what's in your way, including furniture. What do you think would have happened in your church? What do you think, real quick in the comment section? Tell me what would have happened in your church if this would have happened. I know where I play. Oh, them deacons would have been quick. They'd have got him out of there so fast, and the mothers would have been like, oh, I'm getting out of here. We're not doing this. Nah, that's not. That was just crazy. He was dancing on, what was that? Was that the communion table, the offering table? What was that all about? Now, I don't know if this was a guest preacher or whatever, but I know at the church I play at, he would have gotten lit up. They wouldn't have wasted no time. But since we are really talking about shout music, and I love to play shout music, it's one of the things that I really, really love to play. I don't care what the haters say, I do like to play shout music. But every now and then, you come across a shout scene where you like, it kind of goes with my post that I left earlier that I was talking to Mr. Robinson about. Check this out. Now, can somebody please, I'm not here to judge you. I don't know what happened that a praise break happened in their set, or was this part of the whole thing? But please, somebody, please tell me what was that? I mean, I'm not judging. Please. I'm not judging. I just want to know. Streepers for Jesus. Patrick, I know that's right. We couldn't even touch the communion table. I know that, dude. You're absolutely right. If I walked in the front of the church, my mom was gonna rake me up. That's no cap. My mom was gonna rake me up. She would be like, "Oh no, you gotta go." Now I'm looking at this lady shout. Now, man, I'm trying to. I know tomorrow. Listen, Miss Lynn, I know that. I know she's off. But when I saw this, I was like, first of all, that had to be New York. What was that? 172? Raekwon, if you watch this, tell me, is that 172? What was that? My finger, I just would just pluck. I wouldn't even did all that. I'm way too old to be doing it that fast, Paul. So I'm just not going to be doing it. What are you saying here? She does it every show. So, Will, help me out. What is it, a part of her show? I mean, where, she dances with her butt cheeks flapping out everywhere? I mean, to me growing up, third generation Church of God in Christ, I know that wouldn't play well with us. And then at our church, the mothers would have been like, oh, no, we're not doing that. They don't do that at my church. So tell me, is this like part of her show, part of her thing? We still don't touch the communion table. Okay, yeah. Well, when you get a chance, let me know, brother. I want to know, is this part of her show? Because that was crazy. But it was not crazy enough. This is a oldie but goodie. And I want you guys to help me. You always help me, and I love you for it. Believe it or not, I really do. I listen to everything you guys. When the show is over, I usually go either in the morning or afternoon when I'm done with everything that I'm doing at my job. You know, if I got some downtime, I may look and see what you're posting, but definitely before Wednesday, I usually read your posts. So help me out in this video. Tell me, this is an oldie but goodie, but tell me if this person was wrong, okay? You ready? Here we go.
Hi. You gotta stop. I had to drive so far to find you. I live down there, way past the lake.
Okay.
I can't even be in my own home with the doors and the windows shut. I can hear every word you say, all the music. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be forced to listen to that. I understand what you're doing is a good thing, and you're probably really good people, but can you just do it inside?
No, man, we can't.
Well, you're gonna have to, because you are breaking the law.
No, we're not, man.
Yes, the sound is beyond anything legal. It is. I mean,
It's
we can't even hear ourselves think. You don't believe how the sound carries.
Jesus.
It's not about Jesus. It's about making sound. You can do as much Jesus as you want wherever you want, but you're forcing people in their own homes to listen to music and believe how the sound carries.
Jesus.
It's not about Jesus. It's about making sound. You can do as much Jesus as you want wherever you want, but you're forcing people in their own homes to listen to music and reverberance of a microphone. And I don't want to hear it anymore. Every single Sunday now, I have to listen to that. I don't want to listen to it. And there are plenty of people that don't want to listen to it. Okay, I will, but I came here to nicely ask that you go inside and do it. But you're not allowed to just take a microphone and go outside.
Now, what you need to do is go call the police if you're just...
No, I don't want to go. I don't need to tell me to go down to it. You need to stop.
Amen.
How about you're Christians and you're good people? I'm sure you are.
I'm going to call the sheriff's department.
Why is it you want to make people suffer?
Why is
Let
nobody
me get my phone. Now, you do understand that if we call the sheriff and you refuse to leave, you going to jail, not us.
I'm leaving. I'm just coming here to have a conversation with you.
right,
I'm
thank you,
upset.
but you
I'm upset
interrupt- you
because
do not interrupt
I'm upset
us,
because I
thank
asked you to go inside and you're not.
You go inside.
Okay, you
You don't
know
own nothing here.
you're on a microphone.
I don't care what
You're on a microphone.
You
can't come
You don't close the
I
circuit
will
down.
file
We
a
come
complaint.
inside.
God bless you. We pray that that evil spirit leaves your body.
Amen.
Amen. God, we pray right now in the name now that any evil spirit that's contaminating her mind and her spirit, oh God, what evil it took for her to drive from the other side of Henry County to come to this church to try to disrupt and disturb this service, God. But we love her in Jesus' name. I'm not just saying that because I'm on the microphone, but God, you know I have love for her, God. And we pray now that you will change her life, and the next time she steps foot on this ground, she come back saying that I give my life over to the Lord. And it is in Jesus' name.
Somebody said video stuck. I hope it didn't, but you can pretty much just get the gist of it. Lady came over to their service and decided that she would stop them and excoriate them for them having their service. Me personally, to be honest with you, I think the way you do it is you don't go and interrupt their service. You wait until it's over, and then you pull the pastor over and you like, okay, brother, or whatever, you know, you're doing. To come on their property and do that, that's Karen all day. When she came up there, the first thing I thought was, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. And we don't know if they have a noise ordinance. And I agree with you, Freddie Bank. She's not completely wrong if there is a noise ordinance. But if there is not, then it's a better way. Even if there's a better way. You don't interrupt their service. You at least try to get somebody's attention. One of the guys that's standing around, you pull them to the side. You don't make a public spectacle. That was my thought about it. Even if she was right, there's a way you do it. You don't go and interrupt their service and then expect to be treated in a certain way. See, that's that privilege. That's that privilege. Because had that been one of us, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. Exactly. There's always a right and wrong way to do things. You cannot let your emotions get the best of you where you doing things in a way that could cause an escalation. That thing could have took a bad path. Now I know had she done this on South Chicago on as Sweet Holy Spirit, boy, that or Brockamore's church in Chicago, the other powerhouse. Oh man, that would have been bad. That would have been bad. Or any other church on the West Side. DeAndre Patterson's church. What's the name of his church? Anybody in Chicago? Tell me what's DeAndre Patterson Church. What is that? I forgot the name of his church. Oh God, it's on the tip of my tongue. But if you think about it, West Side churches, anything like that, or some Baptist church over there where they shout, when they shout like that, them same women that shout like that would have. Yeah, it'd have been bad. It'd have been bad. What's the name of DeAndre Patterson's church? Anybody knows? Is it Miracle Revival? I thought it was Destination. It was something. I forgot. But anyway, yeah, it's just the way you do things. You don't walk in somebody else's property and you don't do that. You just don't do that. And I think we all could learn something from this. When there's an issue, you think about the most diplomatic way to handle the situation. You don't want it to escalate to a point where now people are getting angry. Now, when he said, I'm going to pray that demon off of you, he was doing too much. Now he was playing to his crowd. I don't think he shouldn't have done that. I don't think he should have done it. We got to learn, even in church, you got to learn when she did that, you could have been like, okay, we're sorry, but can we finish the service? We can talk about it or whatever. We have to demonstrate it too. We don't have to buy into it, because the thing is that you're not thinking about is, had she called the police, do you really think they would have been on your side? I mean, you rolling the dice here. Pause. I'm not trying. How do you roll the dice without it being a pause? Roll the dice, and you rolling the dice. Oh, he has two. Destiny. That's what it is. Destiny Worship Center. Thank you, Kendrick. That's what I was looking for. Destiny. I'm sorry, Christopher. How are you? How are you doing, brother? But anyway, now, last week, a bishop that I know, personally, I played a song for him or whatever, or I worked with him, or I done work for one of his artists, but he left a status. And listen, before we get going, I am in no way attacking anybody. What we do here, we post comments or whatever, or status updates, and we talk about what was posted. We don't attack that person. So please, in my comment section, I do not want to see any personal attacks. I don't want to see any of that. We don't do that here. I will delete it. I will block you. We don't do that here. We're not that. Some people allow people to cut people and everything else. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. So when I post this, if you have anything negative to say, make it about the comment. Okay? Just doing a little, make sure. Here we go. So Pastor Bishop Ron Woods, I'm sure some of you know him. He says the difference in church musicians today and yesteryear is that a lot of churches started paying guys before they actually learned their instrument. So now you guys posting about pay, but they don't know the difference between E flat and D sharp. Okay. But they talking about $100 gigs not sufficing. And on another note, up when regards to playing a chromatic half or diminished chord is not a number. So those of you who are musicians, I said I was going to do commentary on this. He knew I was going to do commentary on this. If you are here and you want to join me, I will give you a couple of minutes because I really want to get this done. I have to meet with somebody in an hour. But let's talk about this, and I'm going to go piece by piece. The difference between church musicians today and yesteryear is a lot of churches started paying guys before they actually learned their instruments. Well, they are, but they aren't, Scylla. But I'll get to that. Okay. They don't know the difference. They were paying guys before they learned their instruments. And that's true. Before they fully learned their instrument, which means the theory. I was actually paid as a musician long before I knew anything about theory on bass. What you guys do not know, I actually began learning music in beginning band playing the trumpet. Yes, I played the trumpet in beginning band, not bass. I already knew how to play bass, but I couldn't read. And during my freshman year, I had to do a play called Little Shop of Horrors. And it was during that time was the first time I actually seen bass music. Now, bass music to me is not that hard, pause, except for when you're doing more, exotic or more complicated stuff. And then it can get a little tedious. But for the most part, bass stuff is rhythmic. It's not really that hard to read bass music. But it was my first time reading bass music almost towards the middle of the year. But to start the year, I was in beginning band learning a little bit about theory. Little bit. I still don't know much. I still really, to be honest with you, and I'm going to get to that. When you're talking about C sharp and E flat and D sharp, we don't know the difference. Well, I believe a lot of them do. A lot of the young cats, they do. They actually, to be honest, let me move this out the way for a second. A lot of the younger musicians actually are better at theory than we were in yesteryear. I just told you, I didn't know much about theory on bass, and I was playing at church every week, and I didn't know much about theory. These younger guys, they know way more theory than we do. They really do. A lot of them. I mean, I'm thinking about Russell, Raekwon, and all these guys that know all this stuff. And I'm sitting up here, I'm the older head, so pause. But I'm like, okay, that's cool. I never really had to do it because in church, it's not necessarily a thing. It's not a necessity. You need to know what E flat is, but most of us know E flat is, D sharp. Even though in church, this is the thing. In church, you will hardly ever hear them say D sharp. You will hardly, matter of fact, I never heard it. I've heard C sharp and D flat. I've heard that, but I've never heard anyone say D sharp. I know F sharp. I still haven't heard anybody call it G flat. We say F sharp because this is, did y'all not know that gospel music, the way we approach gospel music, the way our theory is in church, is actually being taught in collegiate level now? So we can give ourselves a hand. What we're doing is being taught in some colleges. What is being taught in some colleges? The number system. Let me explain this to you. One of my friends, Kevin Stansel, an amazing bass player. If you haven't added him, you need to. His name is KJ or Kevin Stansel. The dude is a monster. If you like my plan, then it's nothing compared to what you're going to hear over on his page. Yeah, they do. I agreed, Will. So he had a discussion. He said, does it make you a good musician if you don't know the number system? I said, you're going to be a great musician. I'm paraphrasing. You're going to be a great musician. But it certainly does help you in church. Why? Because the system, especially if you're playing in Chicago, all the organists say 1, or they say 3, 4, up, 5. The up is part of the system. There is a system that we go by in church because we don't have time to say D sharp over mate. No, we ain't got time to do that. Double flat, B flat, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time. You up means go up. So if you're going up, it's 3. We know 3. We know 4. Then when you say up, that's usually diminished or the very next note up. Because if we are in the 5 and he say up, we know that's a minor 6. So we going up, 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 up. We know that's half steps. When they say up, that's half step. It's called a system. It's not necessarily made to be based on anything theoretic. It's a system. It's a system. And believe it or not, some churches, their system may be different. At my church, this is 6. If they throw this up, that means go to a 6. At some other church, it may be something different. It's a system, and it works because if I'm on the other side of the stage and I can't read lips very well. That's why I never assume. So if they trying to tell me, I don't know what you saying, But if we are in A flat and they say, I know to go to B flat, that's really how the system works. It's a system. And it works. Trust me, it works. There is not any church I've gone to when the keyboard player, they can throw up numbers. I know what it is. I know what it is. And if they say walk up to the 1, if we on a 5 and they do this, or they say walk it up, we know that means go 6 all the way up. Da, 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 da. We know what that means. It's a system that works. And if it works for us, that's what it is. But for you to say that's not a note, we know it's not a note, but it's part of the system. And the younger cats, they know this system. Now, this is probably the only $100 gig thing I will ever cover for the rest of my life. So take note, okay? Let's get to it. $100 gigs. When I started getting really, really, really good, when I was like 16, 17, it was like 50. But then when I started to get really good around when I was 18, around 1993, I'm showing my age, they paid me $100 to play concerts. They paid me $100. That was the going rate in 1993 to a certain degree. I wasn't on a record playing for anybody. I wasn't known like that. This was the going rate. $100 for a concert, maybe 6, 7 songs, somewhere around there. No rehearsals, maybe one, it probably before the service, but it was $100, right? The reason why the $100 conversation is happening now is because you still should not be paying even musicians who are not on that level $100. $100 is not the same now as it was then. You should not be paying them $100. Why not? And I'm glad you asked. Let me bring statistics with you. Listen to this. Inflation is a thing. So inflation is real from 1993 to 2022. As you can see, the rate of inflation in 93 is much less than what it is now. And based off of that inflation, $100, if you're paying musicians $100 in 93, in 2022, that should be $200. That's what you should be paying musicians off rip. Before you even think of paying a musician $100, you need to understand how inflation works. And now this is what you should be paying musicians. You should be paying musicians $200. Listen to me. $200 is the rate. Musicians, young musicians, do not play any other gig from anybody that's not associated with you personally. Now, with your friends, you may give a friendship rate, but anybody calls you for a gig, I don't care if you play for Woodrow Wilson at a gas station with a speaker and a trombone, your rate is $200. That is your rate. $200. Because if they're still trying to pay you 93 prices, then something you need to do. Now, things, there's always exception to the rule. If you're trying to help out a ministry that's struggling, of course, go by your heart. But if they trying to get you to do a 10-song concert and they want to give you $100 or they want you to play at their service that's an hour and 15 or an hour 30 minutes, that's not $100 unless, of course, you have a relationship, which brings me to this. If you are a pastor, the best thing you can do is have a relationship. Build relationships, because if you keep it business, then $200. If you want it to be business and you want to carry it like business, then $200. That's the rate. Mark it down. I don't care. I just showed you why. You should not be paying 1993 prices in 2022. Not $100. You cannot do that. The only way this person plays for $100, even if I never play for anybody, because my rig is going to cost me on my back to bring it down 17 stairs to get it to my car. The only way you can give me $100 if I'm already there, I know you, and you're not doing an extremely complicated song, which brings me to this. If you're going to send somebody a song and you can only pay XYZ, you better make that a CCM joint. It better be 1, 5, 6, 4, or however y'all want these CCM songs to go. That's the way it should be. Don't come sending me some Jacques Cousteau meets Chick Corea and my brain gonna be wrecked for you to do this song and you gonna give me $50. That don't work, because my time to learn this song costs money too. Why? That's time I could be doing something else. Musicians, we need to understand our worth. And this ain't a shot at Ryan, Bishop Ryan. I got respect for him. But y'all got to watch it with this. You don't want musicians to play for $100. You think that should be acceptable? But you come in with 15,000 songs? That's not cool. Or a song that's so busy that our brain is exploding. No, the song should be so good, so easy that I should be able to learn it on my way to service and have it. And you better learn it, musicians. If you want this money, do your job. So when I saw this, I'm like, what is the thing about $100? I don't understand how this is even a discussion in 2022. $100 is not worth anything. It's not, look at the gas prices. $100 is not anything. If you cannot afford $100, then maybe you shouldn't have a concert. Maybe you need to play yourself. Maybe you need to get the Baptist preacher's son to play drums with the fan, take the fan thing off with the Dr. Martin Luther King, rip that off and let's play with some B8s and some TKO drums. You better find a way to do that. Because if you want to try to pay musicians $100, it's unfair. Exactly, when they want to play at the club, now you got a problem. But you send them there. We don't take care of our musicians right. Now, I always get on the musicians. Y'all know, when it come time for me to get on them, I do. But y'all don't take care of some of these musicians right. We know we got our issues, but some of y'all try to pimp us. And you say, no, they pimp their gift. I hate when they say that. You prostituting your gift. Which one is the prostitute? Because last I checked, hoes get their money to the pimp. All they talent, all they stuff that they do, at the very end, the pimp is the only one that benefits. So if I'm at your church and you got the bomb musician staff and you getting all this money and you paying them $100, who's really being hoed here? I'm not prostituting my gift if I go make an honest wage somewhere else. And you, if anything, I'm being pimped here. Don't use that analogy. That's a horrible analogy because you don't know what you're talking about in that realm. See, I just blessed somebody's soul. Thank you. Exactly, man. Dude, $75 in your tank. And believe it or not, if you drive in Chicago, you sitting in traffic, depending on where you are. And then some of these people got a nerve, well, you got to make a rehearsal. $400? $400, my boy? No. We ain't doing that. Can you speak on keyboard and organist hiding behind the bass player when they didn't know the music, but they get paid the most? Yeah, that happens a lot. That happens a lot, but I think you should take that to the MD. And if the MD is the keyboard player, then you need to take it to somebody else above them. I mean, first go to them first. And if they don't listen, then you need to go. I know that happens. A lot of times a bass player do carry it. I mean, I'm a bass player, so I know it's been times where I had to carry it. So I know exactly what you mean, but I think that's a discussion you need to have. I pray that the keyboard player is not the MD, because that's unacceptable. But you got to go to somebody. You can't just hold that in. They can't hold that in. But I'm just saying, I'm just trying to help y'all. I don't like musicians that get raked over the coals. I understand we got our issues, and we got quite a few issues. Yes, there is a sense of entitlement with some of us. There's a delusion of grandeur with some of us. But for the most part, I don't care if they can play. It don't matter if they know what D sharp or E flat is, because most of y'all wouldn't know it either. You don't know it. None of that stuff is being used in church either. I never heard a preacher get up there, play a B flat major 7 over a minor 9. I never heard them say anything that crazy. I have yet to hear that. And I've been playing longer than some of y'all been alive. And I've never heard no, that's an augmented. No, I never heard them say anything like that. They don't do that. Your job is to back up that preacher. Your job is to be in tune with the service. And if they can do that, it doesn't matter if they playing for you or Beyonce, they're doing their job, and you need to give them an honest wage. $200 is the minimum. $200 is the minimum. I don't want to hear any of you young musicians taking this chump change from somebody you don't have a relationship with. Because if you do, I don't want to hear you crying. I told you this the only time I'm having this discussion. I love you guys. I want to see you excel, but you got to know your worth. $200 is your rate. $200 is your rate. Now, I'm saying there's some wiggle room here. Use your judgment. But $200, that's not bad in today's time. I just showed you why. Okay? Let me see what you're saying here. I've actually helped a lot of musicians get the money they deserve. We have the knowledge and firmly believe we need to spread this type of information. Thank you. No problem, man. I agree. $100. Right, $100 with 5 rehearsals with 30 songs. They come giving you, and then they give you the thing. Oh, I will never forget. I'm not gonna put his name out here. This is $100. I remember I did a tour in Texas with a group that I won't even name because some of y'all know him. The leader of the group had me go. We did what? Thursday, Friday, 2 on Sunday, and we came back right from Texas. He put a 20 on top. And he put like 51s behind that. So when he gave it to me on top, I thought I had come up. I was like, oh, wow, this is my first tour. It was like $70 for 3 freaking days. And I did 4, and I did 2 rehearsals. My dad came, I was still younger. My dad came and picked me up, and I told him what I made. He was upset. He was upset. Y'all been doing this for a while. And I'm going to tell you, let me say this and then I'm going to move on. We need to go. But I'm going to say this. If you are the kind of person where I can't say the word. I'm not going to say the word. Where you at? See, this is my new thing. I'm never going to cuss on here, y'all. But got falcon. That's my word. But if you falconed up all the musicians where you not paying your bills, you not giving them their money on time, they got to call you and text you, then you don't need to be having a concert anyway. You don't need to be doing anything. You need to play everything yourself or get in touch with C-Dub and get his app. For real. I'm so tired of that. You local artists and you younger pastors, whatever, if you cannot pay these musicians, stop playing these games. Stop playing the games. How do you know you can't pay the musicians? You have to plan your services and your concerts like nobody likes you. What do you mean? Like nobody's going to show up. When that musician shows up, now recordings I understand because y'all musicians, y'all be flaky sometimes. I'm still having problems with some of y'all got overdubs y'all need to do over here. I still have problems with some of you, and I understand why they don't want to pay you before. I don't blame you. But most of the time, you got to have that money when they get there. Now y'all know me, I'm a professional. So there's no reason why I should wait 2, 3, 4 months to get my check for a recording or a concert that I did. Some of y'all flaky on that, and y'all could do so much better. Y'all could do so much better. Y'all have the musicians sitting around waiting. You know you ain't got the money. Y'all want to know something? I got to go. I got to meet with Marcus at 9:30, so we got to go. But check this out. When I do recordings, I learned a long time ago. So now, when I do recordings and I'm the MD or I'm the producer, you know what I do? I have their money for the musicians already. Not the artists. I have their money already. So when they come with the whole little, I don't have the money. Somebody stole my car and they had my check. Don't worry about it, man. I got y'all. And some of the people that I work with, they would tell you, he ain't lying. I have your money now. I got your money. Let me take care of this. I hired you. So it's my responsibility to make sure that you get your money. So I actually have their money. So say, for instance, the going rate for a low budget recording, somewhere between, I know this is going to sound crazy, but like maybe 700 and somewhere around there, right? If it's a 5-piece band, I will have $3,500 already ready of my own money, ready to pay them. I do not want them waiting. That's the kind of responsibility that most of you artists need to do. Forget trying to make them, they're going to buy your tickets. They don't know you. They don't like you. They don't even pay that money in your offerings. So why would they pay $25 for an artist that they don't even like? No, have your money already for your musicians that played. Musicians, do your job. And if you messed up or you have a falcon moment at the recording, make sure you make yourself available to do your overdubs. But at the concert, make sure you least best as you can be. And if you need to do, for the person that think we don't know theory, you should have some sheet. If you was to look at my iPad, you see all the charts that I have. I posted one of them on Instagram. I chart the stuff out that I know I may need to, be refreshed. I learned a lot of songs in a week. So a lot of songs I may need, I may chart, especially for songs I'm never plan to play again. So, I mean, that's just the way we have to be. I want us to do better. I want our relationship between pastor and artist and musician to be better. But we have to learn how to be honorable with each other. We have to learn how to take each other's worth. Musicians show respect to the people that hire you. People show respect to the musician that you hire. And together we can do something great. But as long as there's a battle, like I'm going to get into in a minute, there will always be this disarray. And I don't operate in disarray. I don't operate like that. My brain can't focus when it's disarray. I don't like chaos. And I think this is a chaotic situation because most people don't understand why musicians don't want to play for $100. And sometimes musicians, they don't quite know how to convey that to the people. And so I'm helping you. That's why. Can I get an amen? What up, Dennis? I create fake charts and most of this stuff be on. Man, it is important. It is important. And it ain't that we just are older. I don't think it has to do with age. I look at us like hard drives. We got so much music that we have to retain. And the more music and songs and gospel music, as much as I love it, sometimes it does sound the same, depending on the artist or depending on their style or where they are, because every city or whatever has a sound. People think Milwaukee doesn't have a sound. Oh, Milwaukee has a sound. I could tell a Milwaukee vibe a mile away. They have a vibe. And if y'all not up on Milwaukee vibe, you need to get up on it. Milwaukee has a vibe. I lived there for over 10 years. Milwaukee has a vibe. Every city or every region has a style, has a vibe. But when you're learning all these different songs, sometimes your brain, you like, hey, what song is this? Like yesterday, I was like, what key is the song in? It gets like that. It ain't that because we getting old, our memory. I mean, of course, your memory diminishes, but it's not necessarily that. We just got so much music. So we got to move, y'all. I got to meet with Marcus. I got to go. I got 30 minutes to make this happen. But since we talked about that whole disconnect thing, before we get there, wait a minute. I gotta show y'all something. Y'all know I like to use this meme that I put up all the time. When somebody does something or they post something that I think is ridiculous, I post this. I said, this is dumb. So I started this little segment that I added to my show a long time ago, and it's called the Doofus of the Week. But today, this Doofus of the Week, she earned every piece of this. Check this out. Wait, where's Doofus? There we go. Okay, this lady right here that's crying, I think her name is Augustine Daphne. Augustine Daphne did one of the dumbest things I've ever seen anybody do in history. Well, the meanest thing. And the thing that always bothers me, and I understand some breakups are horrible. We've all had them. We've all had some knockdown, drag out breakups where we fought or whatever. And I know that's toxic, but it happens, right? But the one thing we never cross the line with, like, for example, my exes, they know my father passed, and they know that had a dramatic effect on me because he was my everything. That was my best friend. That was my confidant. That was the person that instilled a lot of the things that most of the stuff I didn't listen to until it clicked. Ain't that crazy how that happens when all of a sudden it clicked and you like, that's what he was teaching me? So my father passed. I couldn't imagine somebody doing something really bad to the degree of what this woman did. Check this out. So this woman, her man cheated on her. So instead of just leaving like y'all tell us to do, ladies, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? I've been seeing so many of these videos where these women have been taking it out on men in ways that men cannot do. See, we're going to get to that. It's a double standard here. But this woman took this man's mom's ashes and dumped it over her urn. Can y'all know that is the sickest thing you could ever do? She's the doofus of the week. Why? Because she got arrested for it. But here's the thing. When I researched it, it was only a Class A misdemeanor, a $4,000 fine and up to a year in prison. She's not going to do a year. She'll be lucky she even get a week. She may not get any time at all. They might just hit her with maybe $500. But the memory of his mom is gone. Some people take that earn seriously. I know what's his name? Paul Bearer did with the Undertaker. He took that crazy. But if that was me and she did that to my mom, my daddy's ashes, that would be an issue. We don't play that. We don't play that over here.
So what have we learned, if nothing else, children?
Homie, don't play it!
He don't play that. Homie don't play that. Because to do that, you have to have something mentally wrong with you. You have to have, and the thing is, when I was reading the comments, listen, y'all that watch me and y'all watch this live, and I thank you so much for being here. But y'all know I always say, when you go to a video or whatever, y'all probably know what I'm going to say. The gold is in the comments. So I'm seeing women saying, that's right. You showed him, ha ha girl, and everything else. The man are like, that's jacked up. That's his mom. So for those of us, especially for black people, we know 70% of the time it's our mom that raised us. 70%, we're born, more now, but we're born 70%, we got single parents. It's mama, right? So for a man, especially now, his mama's everything, and you took the ashes, the one thing. Had he done that, had the roles been reversed, it would have been a totally different story. And this one is why I'm saying there is a disconnect with the way men handle stuff and the way women handle stuff. And today it's almost like we don't even like each other. I read these comments. I read the comments. And today we're going to talk about this stuff. The disconnect between black women and black men. So we're going to have some fun with this thing. And you know why? What sparked this thing? What sparked this? What made me want to just get rid of, well, not get rid of, but push back the other topic? Because I was added to this group. And when I tell you this group is a gold, I will never leave this group. It's a gold mine for content. But it's almost sad. It's comical, but it's sad. Because it shows you how far apart we are in our thinking. Black men and black women. It's like we are not on the same page, ladies and gentlemen. We're not. We're not on the same page. Let's just keep this thing a buck. Even in church, we're not on the same page. Some of the things that y'all think is cool is not. Some of the things we think is cool are not. It's like what? And then in church, you hear one thing, you think that's the way it is, and it really ain't. We try to tell you that it ain't that thing. Oh, you lied. You just whatever. We are going to talk about this today because I did my homework. We have a whole lot of comments we need to go through, and I'm going to post these comments, and we're going to discuss these comments because I'm gonna send it to you. Can both the sexes just stop cheating? Women emotional, whatever. We gonna talk about that. Trina, you sure you want to have this discussion today? You sure? Because we can talk about that, but as big as cheating. Are you talking about the lady with the urn? I don't care what he cheating. You don't do that. You can leave. It was a story that was sent to me today and I didn't get a chance to put it together, but this lady ran over her man because he was cheating on her and she's going to jail. She killed him because he was cheating. But we don't get on that because we don't see that eye to eye either. We don't. There's a lot of stuff we don't see eye to eye, but I wasn't going to go there, but it's a host of other things. But what sparked this up was also what happened in this situation that right here with Monique and DL, seeing some of the women. This woman right here, first of all, we're going to get on her show. She's not a very good comedian, in my opinion. Some of y'all may disagree. She's a good actress, but she played a role that she's obviously, and I agree with D.L. Hughley, whatever, however you pronounce his name. She kind of puts it across like this is her for real. But to watch her go at him and watch the people who said she was right, what she said, I actually have it here. I'm not going to even play it. It's so horrible. But the way she went at him, and people celebrated. Here's the biggest issue that I'm having, and I'm going to say it in the end. You ladies, especially our women, you are allowed to say this stuff to us, and we can't say nothing. If D.L. Hughley would have got on stage and went at her the same way she did him, he would have gotten canceled. That's one of the double standards that you guys enjoy. So take a bow. There are some double standards that we enjoy, and we're going to get into it. She was wrong. Women can get super emotional, and I agree. But you need to learn how to control your emotions, because a man can get emotional too and knock your front teeth out. But see, the only difference is she was able to do that and get a slap on the wrist. But if that man would have showed up and beat her tail, then you would have been like, oh, he wrong for that. See, it's not the same. Both of us need to learn how to, handle our emotions. The only difference is one gets a pass and the other one doesn't, on average. That's the difference. You could leave. You could leave. And so I actually did research, y'all. Y'all know your boy. That's why you here, because I do my research. I don't just throw out stuff. So I actually spent my money and paid and watched something that I've never seen before. I watched the Queens of Comedy with Lori Hayes, Adele Givens, some more, and Monique. I watched this show and I wanted to see, she always saying that, oh, women, we are just as good at comedians as everything else. So I wanted to see. And now, having said that, when I go to a comedy show, I actually, okay, well, see, that's another disconnect we have, Trina, because a lot of women don't believe this. They don't believe the woman is the weaker vessel, but we're going to get into that. So when I watched this show, I actually have my notes here. Y'all ready? So here go my notes. I actually did this the real way. I didn't have time today to put it together. So I watched it. Lori Hayes was first, right? She told 29 jokes. And what I mean by jokes, that means something that had a punchline. I don't really add it when you add more to it, when you say a joke and then you add more to it. And that don't count to me. That's the same joke. So she had 29 jokes in her little sets. I think she had maybe like 10, 15 minutes, right? I laughed 3 times at her. I actually laughed. I cracked a laugh. And when I say entertain, I was entertained once. That means it wasn't funny, but it was like, okay, that was okay. It wasn't enough to get me to laugh. Now, I'm not the kind of person, when I watch videos or comedy shows, I actually go in with an open mind. I know it's hard for them to stand in front of people. It's hard for me to stand in front of you and entertain you. So I know what they feel when they're on stage trying to entertain you. So I understand it. So I go in with an open mind. Let me see. Make me laugh. Let's go. You remember that show, Make Me Laugh? That might be showing my age. Y'all remember that show, Make Me Laugh? Throw some likes if you remember Make Me Laugh. It used to come on, CBS? Back in the day. Throw some likes if you remember Make Me Laugh. So this was me. Make Me Laugh. I don't smoke weed, so I didn't have to help. Some of y'all do. You still get up in the choir and sing. But that's another story. But anyway, so I watched it. She had one sex joke, right? She cussed 13 times. Yes, I'm kind of. Now, I didn't count the ASS word, all the time. I mean, depending on how to use it. I let that one go. Some words I don't really consider that bad. ASS is one of them, because y'all saying that in church right now. But the real cuss words, I kind of kept them here, right? She cussed 13 times. That wasn't that bad, right? Then Adele Givens gets up. Adele Givens, she made me laugh once. And that's because she ripped this lady in the audience who told her, she tried to kind of low-key heckle her, and she went at her, and her man was sitting there mad because she roasted that chick. Well, yeah, I'm going to her some more. You talking about some more. So I laughed at one. She entertained me 5 times. 5 times I didn't think it was, I didn't laugh, but I was like, okay, that was cool. That was interesting. She didn't have any sex jokes. She didn't bash men or anything like that. She told 71 jokes. Adele Givens told 71 jokes. That means 71 jokes that had a kind of punchline to them. 71, I counted it, right? She cussed 83 times, though. She said she had a foul mouth. 83 times she cussed in a 15-minute set. I was like, okay, you kind of going there. Why do they cut? Men, do y'all find that, offensive when women cuss that much? Let me know, okay? To me, it's kind of bad, right? Let's get to some more. She didn't make me laugh any, but she entertained me twice, right? She told 15 sex jokes. She bashed men 10 times. And the men, you know, they were kind of like, whatever. That's one of the reasons why I don't go. I mean, men, when we get on stage, men comedians, I still have yet for them to actually bash women. But these female comedians, some of them, they don't have no problems talking about men. They have no problems. None. And they get laughed from women and everything else. But when a man gets up and do it, it's not the same. We ain't get to talk about that though, right? She told 72 jokes. 72 jokes that had a punchline, right? She cussed 76 times. Adele had her beat. Now let's go to the headliner. Monique, she didn't make me laugh any, and I wasn't entertained. I don't find her funny. And I didn't go in biased. I really tried to laugh, but it just was filth. But she made sex references 27 times. Her jokes was all sex. She bashed men twice. That wasn't that bad. She was cussing. She was cussing. Now, y'all ready for this? Monique cussed 247 times. 247 times. In a freaking 15-minute set, you cussed 247 times. What was your comic? What was your, you know what I'm saying? What was your substance? Foul, filth, foul, and foul this, and falcon this, and falcon you, and falcon. I thought I was watching The Avengers. I'm like, girl, how many times you gonna say this word? B. And what's funny is you can call a woman, she said it was just a word, but a man can't call you a B and walk away from it. We can't. If I was to get up in a woman's face and be like, shut up, B, she would beat my tail, but y'all call each other B's, and you're a B. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? I don't even know what I was watching. I was like, what in the world? So it started this thing with me when I was talking about there's a disconnect. And the way we are handled as black men, the way black women are accepted. A lot of black women sided with Monique, and some of them sided with D.L. Hewley. So when I did my research on this, and I said, okay, let's do this. So my friend Craig posted this. I'm coming to the conclusion that what women think men think, or their perception of them, is not the case. If you decided to ask a man what he really thought, you would be shocked what world he tells you is acceptable is the opposite. And that's what sparked me to post this. I said, okay, let's do this. So what are the disconnects that we have between black men and black women? They all could be summarized in these. We have a disconnect in family structure. Baby mamas, baby daddies, how we go about, how we talk about those things. Of course, we talk about finances, expectations, and double standards. These are the things that I've found are the biggest disconnect. These four things. These are relationships and marriage. All of my questions that I've asked people, the statuses that I've seen in posts. So what we're going to do right now for the next 15 minutes, we are going to go through these posts. We are going to find these posts, and we're going to talk about them real quick. Real quick. Y'all ready? Let me know if you're ready. Let's do it. First one. These men hate women because they're fruity booty on the low. This is one thing that I'm tired of hearing. And I've been seeing this a lot lately. There's a disconnect here, ladies. Men that criticize what we want from our women are not bashing you, and we do not hate you. See, that's the thing that leaves you devoid of accountability. So instead of you just saying, okay, what is the thing that I need to address? You would say, oh, you only do this because you hate us. And because you hate us, now you're gay. And it's funny y'all say, oh, I don't have a problem with gay people, but you always use that as a punchline to attack a man's manhood. Either he has a small penis or he's gay. It's going to be one of those two. So the disconnect is this. Just because we desire to have a more quality woman, because to be honest with you, and men, you can join in with me, the level of quality with our women in 2022 has diminished. We've heard you for the last 50 years. We've heard you saying deadbeat, scrubs, and everything else that you can think of, sperm donors and everything else. But now that men are talking, you can't handle it. And you leave stuff like this, you bash and you hate women. Why do you think we hate women? Because we desire more quality. You desire more quality. So it's the disconnect here. You don't want to hear men talk. So now that men are talking, now you have a problem with it. And the first thing you want to do is go defensive and attack our manhood instead of you addressing the issue. You want to try to force feed us what we do not want. And so the first thing you do is try to attack. And this is one of the first things I've seen. Y'all want to be with men on the low. Why? Because we want better quality? Well, how do you know it's better quality? Whenever you have Megan the Man Horse, Cardi B Classless, and Nicki Minaj A Trois speaking about men to you and you taking it in, those are low quality women. I don't care how much money they make. What makes them low quality? We don't care about their money. The men that they want don't care about their money. They care that they're a good person or a person that they can build a life with. Those are not quality women. There is no way you can make a song called WAP and be called quality. So when we talk about these things, you get upset, you get emotional because that's cognitive dissonance kicking in. You don't want us to talk about these things. But guess what? You're going to hear the man perspective tonight because we've heard you. And when I look at these posts, I'm saying the disconnect. Why is it that you feel like you are above criticism? We hear you. If you was to ask the educated average man, the men that you want, not the Scallies, not the Dusties, not the Madden Kings, the men that you desire, ask them what you think a woman wants. They could tell you because we've heard it for the last 50 years. Now, whether they do it or not is another thing, but they could tell you what you want. Now, I can ask any of you come on this show, and I guarantee you, if I ask you, what does a man want? The man you want, what is the thing he desires? You come giving me some stuff that you think men want, but it's not what we want. That's what you think we want because that's what you want, which is the reason, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there right now. Let's go. I saw this one. Y'all ninjas ain't even worth a home-cooked meal. What y'all want on this hot dog? This is what I'm talking about. This is a disconnect. Because here we have a woman here saying we ain't worth nothing. We ain't even worth a hot dog. This is what we want. Do you think this is marriage material? You think men like myself? I'm not average. I'm above average. I make above average money, right? I'm not that. I'm not down there. And more power to them brothers that's out here working. I'm not dissing you, but on my level, my pay grade, my tax bracket, we don't want women that want to post this stuff. This is not desirable for us. I don't give a care about your money. I don't care if you get the bag. I'm going to get there. But when I look at this, and I'm a man that like a home-cooked meal. I like home-cooked meal. The women that work with me, they can tell you, when they order the meals, they know, Mr. Hearn, we get some meal because they know I like home-cooked meal. I ain't talk about my weight journey. I'm still on it. I've dropped a few pounds, actually. This is the stuff. These are real comments, y'all. Now, some of these comments are really good. Some of these comments are really good. Hold on. My producer is trying to reach out to me because I know I'm sweating. Okay, so some of these comments are really good. Single women with no children, please don't end up alone with children. Make the right decisions. Date, relationship, marriage, and then have children. Protect yourself at all times when having sex. Wait until the time is right to reproduce. A man said this, and I'm leaving some of this stuff out because I want you to see this man said this. This is good advice, right? He got roasted for saying this comment. They's like, no, why? What makes you think you can tell us what to do? No, how about men do this? And that's the thing. Y'all love to do this. When a man says something what we desire from women, or he's trying to tell you what men desire, you always flip it around on us. Well, why don't men do this? Why you can't listen to us for a second? What is wrong with you finally saying we need to listen to our men when men are talking? Now, you always say you want a man. You want men to express themselves. But when we do, we always are attacked. I mean, they roasted this dude. Some dudes was like, okay, I kind of like the status. This is good advice. I think you should wait. We popping out too many kids with no daddies in the house. And you see how that's gotten us. I thought that was a great comment. But guess what? He got roasted. And guess who roasted him? Guess who roasted him? Women. Our women. The disconnect is real. Let's go. Now, this is a woman. I left out the group. I'll tell you the group if you inbox me. I don't think y'all really ready for this group. In all honesty, this is a sex. If all honesty, if her is not, it's because her doesn't like you, and the body don't lie, baby. Men don't come in here preaching. And see, that's another thing that happens. That's another thing that happens. You don't want to hear from us. You just attacked us. Let me explain this to you. And this is going to get really, really raunchy, and I do not care. All of you don't have WAP. Some of you got DOP. Some of you got DOP. Just like every man ain't hung to the floor. It's different sizes. But there are levels to this. And just because your junk is dry as the Bahamian desert doesn't necessarily mean your body doesn't want him. Maybe you just don't have good stuff. Now, me personally, I think you should be out here doing all this junk anyway. How would you know? You shouldn't be flinging it around everywhere. I mean, I'm not judging you. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's fine. I mean, I'm just saying. But if this is your mindset with it, then why are you even doing this? Why is this even a discussion? Absolutely not a Christian group. It's people that I want to hear from, because this is a demonstration of our people. This is all walks of life. There are below average earning men. There are average earning men. There are above average earning men. That man that's right in the top 15%, that would probably be me in the top 15, 12%. And then it's the real high value men, the 10%, the 9%. You know, I'm not quite there. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm probably being modest, but I don't care. I consider myself to be average, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. But turn around, if the men who are critical, they are so quick to point out the flaws of their women, but their own lives be messed up. Okay, we understand our own lives be messed up. We don't, and you usually don't have a problem telling us our own lives are messed up. You usually don't have a problem with that. That's what this is about. We always hear, because y'all got more names for us degrading. But the things that men find degrading, you found a way to make them terms of endearment. You found terms of endearment for things that men don't find attractive on average. But the other way around, we know this. We know our lives be messed up. We know some of the stuff we do. We know some of the times we ain't on the up and up. But make no mistake about it. When we start, we going to talk about that cheating thing you did earlier. We going to get there. We going to get there. Okay? Check this out. This was left. Facts. Ninjas be so popular, but blank be size of a Roku remote. This thing got so many likes and laughs. It was funny to me to see this. Had all the laughs in the world. And it's crazy how this is just easy. The bashing. How do you think this resonates with men? How do you think this resonates when we see this stuff? How? We got another one. Where is it? Y'all, I finally got my own man. His thing is little buddy mad. This is not funny. This is all this happens. Most women can't even use me. And I get, yeah, that's true. We can actually do a talk on that, and we are. Here's the thing. People be saying, I hate that. You actually type that. People be saying single mothers need to start taking responsibility when the last time I checked, they're the ones raising the child. I mean, a period wouldn't hurt. The child that's not taking responsibility, then I don't know. This is hurting my head. It's a lot of deadbeats in my comment section wanting to be heard, running on this post, but not getting their children and don't sit right with me. I bet none of you have a vasectomy. Lady, please look at the comment section. The deadbeats are here. In case you're wondering, watch out for these red flags. See, this is what I'm talking about. This was left in response to the other post. You see what I'm saying? That lack of accountability. Kevin Samuel said, and I agree, accountability is like kryptonite to some of these modern women. To a lot of them. How did you turn that around on him? And to be honest with you, yeah, there are some deadbeats out here, but you don't know every instance. Maury existed and made good money exploiting people who took men on there, put them on child support, and then found out the baby wasn't his. But nobody's getting on them. But every time they laughed at him or whatever, but every time a man, before he can even be heard, this is the crazy thing. Before the man can even be heard, they're already booing. They're already booing. They say, boo. This is the disconnect, y'all. Let's keep going. We moving. Why the dudes nowadays don't come romantic at all? I didn't know coming could be romantic. But anyway, that's beside the point. Like, where is the picnics, surprise dates, flowers, unexpected, vacations, y'all boring as hell and be wanting us to just be all about you and y'all can't even do no sweet justice. Let me tell you this. We do that. We do that. I'll never forget the time I bought a rose bouquet for a woman and walked by and found it in the garbage. What happens, men, when we walk to the mall and we open the door and they just don't say anything? What happens all the time, men, that do all of that, but he's the bum, he's lame, he's boring, he's this. Y'all don't like that until you too old and now you washed up. Now you want that kind of man, but you spent your youth with these scallies and the dusties, and now you want that. Now you ain't worth all of that yet. You're not worth it. You ruined that. You probably curved the men that were doing that for you, for the scallies, for the men that don't do nothing for you but take from you. They take your body, they take your money, they leave you with kids, but now you want that. It ain't, now I don't like that. Y'all act like men don't do that. Please. I'm all about that. I can guarantee you would have a room full of teddy bears, roses, and everything else. You run out of room with me. And a lot of men like me. We're not perfect. We make mistakes just like everybody else. But at the very end of the day, we're very romantic. But here's the thing. If it's not reciprocated, then it's going to burn that man off and he's not going to want to do it anymore. And I really believe that a lot of us could benefit from some therapy. I wish I had gone. I probably wouldn't have done some of the things I did in my past. I probably wouldn't even be some of the ways that I am now if I went to therapy. We don't go to therapy enough because we carry this stuff. That's another live we can talk about. But no, men are romantic. Stop dealing with scallies. Your choice of men. But trust me, the men that are romantic, they're not going to want to deal with no chick that's loud, rambunctious, cantankerous, and masculine. They're not going to want to deal with that. So they don't deem you to be worthy. The only thing they deem you to be is somebody, to have fun with. I ain't going to get no amens on this message. My friend left this, and I like her. She's cool. She said, we just want y'all to provide for us, understand us, and love us. That's it. I responded. And what are we getting out of it? Because we understand this. This thing, men that are watching this, tell me right now, don't you already know this? Tell me, don't you already know this? We know this already. But when I asked, what are we getting for this? What are we getting? I'm still to date and I love her, but we never got a response. You know what she did? She turned around and left another comment attacking us. That's what happens. And this is what I'm talking about. That's why this is a disconnect, ladies and gentlemen, because when men are asking you, we ask these questions and we have things that we want to discuss. The first thing you want to do is turn it around on us. And so what's going to happen to a man? We're going to shut down. Men are not dating outside our race like that. 86% of our men date and marry black women. What we are doing, we still got over 50% of men that never been married. They're just checking out. They just like, no, we don't even want to do it. It ain't worth it. It's no benefit for us to marry. It's no benefit. Now, here's another thing. This is one we're going to have fun with. All men want polygamy until your wife wants two husbands. Hypocrites. She spelled hypocrites wrong. This group is a gold man, I promise you. Let's get into this. I know this is going to rub you the wrong way, but men weren't created to be monogamous. We're monogamous by choice. That's a choice. We're polygamous by nature. Women, first of all, polyandry is like what? It's very extremely rare. Extremely rare. That is one woman with multiple husbands. That is extremely rare. And to be honest with you, I can't even think of one first world country that does it like that. Why? Because by nature, it's not by nature for men to have one woman. You say, well, why? Why? Because we're not made up. How many eggs do you produce from the time you're 12 years old up until the time that you are 35 years old, which is considered geriatric pregnancy? Tell me that real quick. Tell me that real quick. How? Tell me that. Last I checked, you probably producing maybe 230 something, 260 at plus eggs. I think it's somewhere around there. It ain't no more than 300 eggs. You produce 1 egg a month, 12 eggs per year. You see what I'm saying? A man can produce millions of sperm in a day. In fact, in ejaculation, we probably have anywhere between 2 and 3 million sperm in that one climax, in that ejaculation, in that semen, that from one session in 2 weeks, which is the time they tell you to wait, or a week or 2 weeks, man can produce trillions of sperm. You can still only produce 1 egg. That's why I always say on this platform, this is why men don't like you being around with a whole lot of other men, because what you have is rarity, which makes it valuable. A man's sperm and his seed is not as valuable because we have so many. We have so many. This is by nature. This is just bound to our very basic. We ain't talking about social norms. We're not talking about that. We're talking about basic science. So by makeup, if you're only creating 1 egg a month and we're creating trillions of sperm, which one of these you think is going to be more likely to have multiple? That one or the trillion? Men want you to feel like, okay, we finna have at it right now. You knew and faithful, all those sperms come out in one ejaculation, but only one makes it to the egg. No, only one is needed to fertilize the egg. Yes, it is true. One makes it to the egg because there's only one to fertilize. All those trillions of sperm, yeah, they have to swim and everything. And it's true that not all of those trillions make it to the egg, but guaranteed, they only need one. Only need one. That's why you can have a dude with multiple baby mamas in 1 year. Let me break this down to you. If we were on the verge of extinction and we only need, they said you could get four. You can have 1 man and three women, or you can have 1 woman and 3 men. Which one of those do you think they would say would be the most logical to reproduce? Which one of those? The 1 and the 3, 1 man and 3 women, or 1 woman, 3 men? And here's another thing that y'all not thinking about. Here's the thing you're not thinking about. In a polyandrous relationship, right? Polyandrous relationship, which do you really think that those men are being faithful to that 1 woman? You really think that? The crazy thing is when men are polygamous, they pretty much stay with those. They don't go out. They stay with those. But those men in those relationships, they usually go out. What's going on with my chat? Oh, no. It's not letting me see my chat, y'all. Hold on. Why would you do this now? It's doing something funky over here. Hold on, y'all. Okay, it's back. It's something crazy. Okay, something's doing something weird. Y'all can continue to comment. I guess I was getting over flooded. It just restarted itself, which is weird. But anyway, yeah, polyandry that's a real one. And we're not saying women cannot have, men really don't care about that. We don't. That's nothing that there's no hypocrisy there. But that's what you're projecting. That's the issue. That's the issue. Anyway, let's go on. This is one. Definitely going to get this one. Okay, I'm coming, Marcus. Where Marcus at? Pause. Okay, somebody's texting me. All right. Yes, our women can be a bit aggressive. However, I found that when they feel protected and loved, feminine energy kicks in and they relax. I have an issue with this one. And somebody actually said something as well. He said, that's like saying most men don't trust women, so we cheat until we feel like we can trust you. Once we feel you can be trusted, we can stop. Cheating sounds, he said, hella dumb, don't it? That's what I feel. I feel like we should wait until you feel like you can trust us and we got to deal with your aggressive masculinity before then. That is, do y'all see where this is going? Can y'all understand why I say that's a disconnect? All these comments that's coming left and right. I got a friend in my but right here that's commenting, and we have an I go. She always does this, so we're not combative. But this is crazy. We could go on and on about masculinity. Not that one, but this one. I like this one. Feminine energy, feminine women succeed because they find out early if the man can lead. Masculine women find out way too late. The problem with that is a lot of our women, they act really masculine. I call them manabees. Where is you at? Are you around? Let me see if I can find her. I call them manabees. I don't know where I put it. I call them manabees. When you act all manly, you want to run the show, you want to do that. It's like men got to work so hard for you to even open up and say, hey, I'll let you lead. And I will say this, men, I'm talking to you. Stop getting into these relationships with women that don't respect you as a man to let you lead. Don't get into a relationship with them. Don't give them the thing that they want because they benefit from marriage before then. They benefiting from you only being with them. But what are you getting from it? If that woman don't want to let you be a man, why are you submitting to her? I mean, why are you giving her what she wants? You're not getting what you want. You got an argumentative, combative man. Y'all need to make better choices. We all need to. Let me get out of here. This was by far one of the most disturbing thing I've seen. I hate him. I hate her. But they do it for me. Do we really need to comment on this? Do we really need to comment on this? I can't see a lot of y'all posts. I'm going to go to my Facebook because okay, let me see if I can see some of your live chats. Okay, so that's what's happening here. This was disturbing. That poor child. And this is what happens. We become our worst enemies. We battle each other a lot. This is crazy. Why do this? This is not a picture that I would have posted either, to be honest with you. I don't think I would have posted this picture. This is crazy. And here's another one. 98% of the children have absent fathers because their mother's behavior. I don't necessarily agree with this. 98%, that's pretty high. But there are a lot of women out here that make it difficult for the father to be. And see, here's the thing. Men, we have to go through so much to get in our children's life when we battling an idiot woman. What do you mean? We have to pay for our own lawyers. They get the state to do their work for them. The lawyer come in and they say, oh, give me $3,000 and that's my retainer fee. And then you know what they do? They do absolutely nothing for you. They do nothing for you. They go in, they file a couple of paperwork, and then they come and find a way. And the only thing to get in your pockets, that's the only thing that changes is the growing lightness in your wallet. It's getting lighter and lighter. They keep taking your money. And a lot of men, they just tired. They be like, I'm just tired. I can't do this no more. I can't afford this lawyer. And you say, well, you should fight. It's easy for you to say. But at a certain point, you can fight all you want. But if it's a losing battle, you can fight, but you still going to lose. And a lot of men tire. And a lot of times the women don't want them in the child's life anyway, up until they get to the age where they can't do nothing with them. Now they want to say, oh, you need to step up and be a father now. I've had so many conversations with men in this regard, talking about this very subject, with the mother willingly trying to keep the father out of the baby's life outside of the money, of course. They don't want you around. until it's convenient for them when they want to go out with the girls. Then you the babysitter now. There are a lot of men that deal with this. We're not made up. We don't have a nurturing gene. And what a lot of men, especially black men, they be like, man, forget it. I don't give a falcon right now. And they do it. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. This happens a lot. Now, let me get to the last few. I'm almost done. Marcus, I know. Check this out. Why DICK don't have the same value as P? I think I covered this, right? Do we really need to go here? Men are your ability to procreate and make babies, women, and carry babies, that's very rare. That's very valuable. That's your most valuable thing. That's the most valuable thing you can do for a man. It's your womb. It's you having their seed. There's a rarity. I don't think people understand. When you have a baby, you are extremely blessed. There are a lot of women out here that can't have babies. And you bring this baby to full term. There are a lot of women that get pregnant and can't carry the baby full term. That is very rare. You're very valuable. The man's penis, the average man, he can produce kids up until he's 70. Assuming that he can still function. And a lot of them can. I know my granddaddy could. I ain't getting no amens. Now, this is the one that disturbed me. Y'all, listen, these comments are real. Everything is real. I'm serious. Ninjas love asking, can you cook? B, can you change my oil and tire? Do y'all see what I'm talking about? This shouldn't even be a post. Why are you calling a man out his name? Now, if a man does this, it's an issue. But if a man asking you something that men find valuable, I know I do. I desire a woman that can cook. That is something that I desire. I want a woman that can cook. I don't want you looking in the cookbook. I want you to come already with your own recipes that you can wow me. Because I'm going to be out here hustling for both of us. And if I'm going to be out here hustling for both of us and you're not one of the ones that's going to pay some of these bills, you want to just lay up in here that I'm going to get on really bad when I close, then why would this be an issue? And most men can change oil and tire. I know how to change brakes. I know how to put batteries in. There's a lot of stuff with a car I can do. Some of y'all can't even drive up to get an oil change, let alone me get out here and fix it. This is disturbing behavior. So men are looking at this and we're saying, well, why do we even bother? Because some of you are already giving us what we want without no commitments anyway. So why would we give you the benefit of marrying you and being miserable? And I don't care about, well, women are miserable too. I'm not talking to you right now. I'm talking about men. I'm talking about men, and it's time for us to really tell you because you're not listening. And honestly, some of them are tired of talking. They're going to show you more than they can tell you. And see, the thing is, y'all all upset about Kevin Samuels. That's one man. But what you don't know is everything he said, I've heard numerous times, numerous places. But it's never been broadcast. So now that it's broadcast and he showed I get hate mail all the time. I may do a show where I post it. Some of the stuff y'all say in my inbox, I'm like, are you serious? I never said that. You took one thing that I said and you flipped it. And we're not doing that. You are upset at something I'm saying, but you've refused to understand the things that I'm posting and I'm talking about that men talking about because you don't want to hear it. You think all is wonderful. You got to accept us the way we are. This is the way we are. We're saying no. Level up just like we have. 64% of black men are middle class and higher. Level up. Your quality is not that good like you think it is. Most of you are overweight and obese. A lot of men, there's some men out here that will smash you. If I wish I had that open. Where you at, Captain America? You ain't up here. Where you at, Captain? There you are.
Smash.
They will do that. But they ain't running you down that aisle. Which is what we really are talking about here. Long-term relationships and marriage. I ain't getting no amens on this message, and I don't want none. I don't want none. This woman, this is crazy. This is about expectations. We don't even know what you want in a man. A lot of you don't qualify for. But in this instance, she met a man that was a nuclear physicist. Do y'all know, if you really look up what this man probably makes as a nuclear physicist, you probably be like, what? She didn't want him and dissed him live on YouTube because he was boring. She said he was lame. He had no personality. He was boring. This is the stuff that the expectations that you guys, because you'd rather deal with all these people.
She belongs to the streets.
You want to be out here in the streets. You want to be out here and you want to wait until you out in your prime years gone. Now you want to get with a man, which brings me back to Laura Harvey. Some people was like, oh, she young, she exploring, she didn't want to get laid down. You are 25. That's your prime years. You are not going to be the same when you are 35 as you was at 25. Why would you waste your youth around here with man after man after man after man? Oh, how you know you sleeping with him? You think Future going to be with some woman he ain't hitting? You really think that? You think Trey Songz gonna be with a woman he ain't hitting? You think Diddy gonna be with a woman he ain't hitting? You after man after man after man. But if a man says that we don't want no high body counts, then you got a problem with it. But here's the thing. These are one of the double standards that we enjoy because a lot of men don't want a woman with a long body count. Some of us like me, I just don't want to know. It ain't my business. What you did before me, it don't matter. But there's a lot of men out here that don't want a woman that's been around and around and around. And even Jesus Christ know, don't you know, she's for the streets. And a lot of men don't want that. But if a man says that, we're not allowed to have these expectations and standards. But you are. That's a disconnect and it needs to stop. Listen to these men talk. You may not want to hear it, but we are talking some good stuff. I ain't getting no amens. This woman says, he says, now this is a man. He says, my old lady said if the ninja's credit score, I wish we stopped doing that. But anyway, it's ain't over 750. You don't give that whatever. So his credit score is predicated. See, this is what a lot of men talk about. Unless we got money, a lot of times we not going to get no play. Men have understood that. And a lot of men do know that. And we stepped up. But see, here's the thing. If he got a 750 score, what does it matter if he ain't counting his money, right? He just got good credit, but he ain't got no money. But it doesn't matter because those kind of men don't want women that's just out for them like that. It really doesn't matter. Now, I'm getting to the end. Y'all ready for this? This is the creme de la creme that's going to bring it all home, and then I'm going to leave you. I'm going to give you my last points. I'm going to leave. This thing messed me up. It said, there is something unsexy about an older man with a young ninja mentality. I wish we would stop saying that mentality. Like, D, yo, gray popping. I got gray. And you look good, but your body look like a young dude. I don't understand. You talk like a young boy, and your lifestyle is of a street ninja. Ooh, if you 40 and act like that, get your together because you look like an old fool. One of the things that I have an issue with is her cavalier moments. Your cavalier moments where you think you can get online and talk to men like this. See, men are not allowed to do this, except for today. I want all the smoke. Because like I said, I'm not broke. I'm not gay. I don't hate black women. And none of that stuff bothers me. You could pretty much try to get on here and roast me if you want to. It's not going to bother me because my brain is thinking somewhere else. I'm seeing the bigger picture. And what I'm seeing is your quality ain't what you think it is. Because you've been told for 20, 40, 50 years that it's all us and not you, but they've been lying to you, sweetheart. And that's why a lot of you ain't gonna never get married. Because number one, you outnumber us. So some of you won't get married. And you saying, well, why do y'all feel like that's a bad thing? I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but if you one of these women that want to get married, and you don't want to die alone with your dog, where's a dog? You don't want to die alone playing with little puppies. You might want to listen to some men. And for this woman to say men and dress and act like that, dress like what? See, here's the double standard. Y'all ready? Let's bring this thing home. So what are we talking about? You 52 years old. Do this look like a dress of somebody who's 52? But nobody says nothing about that. You say, oh, she can work it, girl. And she does look nice, but that's not dressing of a 52. That's dressing of a 22, 25, maybe early 30s, maybe, but that ain't 52. Nobody says nothing about that. You got another woman out here, Delicious. She on here dressing like she 25. Nobody says nothing. Nobody says nothing about when the women are older and they still got their shape and they can wear all this stuff. Nobody says nothing. But the man, now we are putting this whole, now I always think men should wear suits. My thing is simple. It's a double standard. It's what you saying, you being hypocritical, and men are tired of that. So you want to know what the biggest disconnect is? It's the hypocrisy. That's what the biggest disconnect is between black men and black women. If we really, really narrowed it down, it's the hypocrisy. It's because you are allowed for so many years to go at men and say what we ain't and what we do and everything else. But for so many years, now that men for the last 2 years are saying something, now you want to get upset. And so it's causing this division because you don't want to hear it and men are talking. Men are talking, you don't want to hear it. We've heard you. When low quality women like Megan the Man Horse are talking to black men, then it's time for you to shut up and let us talk. And now that we're talking, you don't want to hear it. And you want to deflect because you want to keep going back to your echo chambers and your talking points and everything else. Meanwhile, you staying by yourself. You're not getting the men that you want because they don't look for you. They don't desire you because you haven't made yourself be of inequality. Well, why I can't meet the man that I want? Because he doesn't want you. One man came online and said that to a woman and y'all lost your mind. But deep down inside, that's true. I'm going to cover that one next week. But this is the issue. The biggest thing with all these things that I talked about, the reason why they exist, this disconnect really exists, because y'all don't want to listen to us. Y'all said to yourself, we don't need men to talk to us. We don't need men to say anything to us. We okay the way you are, no matter if we 600 pounds. And y'all been saying, oh, those women, those 600-pound women, they all got men. Correction. A lot of them lost the same men that they were on the show with. They probably got men now because they probably getting something from it. Man, those men that they win are not high value men. They're regular, average, everyday dudes. You know, the ones that you tell no every day because you're still waiting for the high value to come and sweep you off your feet. I don't want no broke man. Which brings me to this. I didn't cover finances because I did that show, but let me say this, and I didn't say this in my show. If you don't want a man to pay 50-50, you don't want to go 50-50 on bills with him, that's fine. I don't dictate what you do with your relationship and your marriage. That has nothing to do with me. But if you're saying a man should pay all the bills, that's fine. Then when I'm talking to you about what you bring to the table, leave your degrees and your businesses in your mouth. Don't say nothing to me about that. I only want to know the other things that you can do that's going to make my life easier, not your life easier, because the only person that's out here working is me. So your job is to support me at that point. Totally. But you don't want to hear this because you've been taught, oh, we're equals. How are we equals? If we're equal, why you won't want to pay 50-50? Because that's a man's job. That's the part of patriarchy that you want to benefit from. Now, if this ain't you, then you can keep it stepping, boo. But I ain't talking to that. But I'm talking to those women that say a man that want to pay 50-50, that something is wrong with you if you want to go 50-50. No. Something is wrong with you because the first thing, if I asked you, what is it that I never would say, what do you bring to the table? I'd be like, so what makes you, good quality to be a wife? In our discussion, some way it'll come up. Some way I always find a way, right? Oh, well, I got a degree in this. I got this. Why do you care if you're not going to pay 50% of these bills? I don't benefit from your degree. I don't benefit from your business. So how dare you bring that up? No. What else can you do? Can you keep a clean house? Oh, I don't believe in that. Then what are you going to do? You're going to go out to work. I'm going to work. You're going to go out to work. I'm going to pay all the bills. You're going to keep your money. And I still got to struggle to cook. But then you wonder why these men, let me go here. You wonder why these men got these sides? Because why are you needed? If I married you, and I'm paying 100% of the bills, but you working. So now both of us working and I got to come home and I can't eat. Oh, I'm tired. You just going to have to go to Burger King. I got your Burger King. I ain't going to get no amens on that. That's why I'm at with it. So when you come to this platform, I try to be balanced. I can understand some points. But I'm not going to be so balanced to you, ladies, because we've heard you. We've heard you. So it's going to be a little bit skewed because you're not used to hearing this. That little anger that you feel in some of you. And before you start, oh, you just hate black women. Your mama black. Woo, I didn't post that, but let me go here. I have no intention of having sex with my mom. So even though I may be critical of you in some regards, don't try to throw my mom up in there because I'm not trying to date my mom. That's sick. Stop doing that. That's what I'm saying. That's another deflection tactic. That's why we're here. That's why we so disconnected. Because now you want to throw my mom in and say, oh, well, your mom is this, or where your sister is this. I'm not trying to date my mom, my sister, my niece, my third cousin. None of that. I want to date a woman that has the qualities that I desire. And if that is not you, to the T, listen, y'all got y'all standards that y'all don't budge. Guess what? Men have them too. We not gonna budge. If you don't want a woman that you got to open up all 4 car doors to let her in your car, that's on you, man, and hold your ground. If you don't want a woman that's going to talk down to you, and I don't understand why you think that's so strong, that doesn't exhibit strength. That exhibit ratchetness, and you deserve to be by yourself. And that's a turnoff for, let me give you another class, ladies, to get in and say, oh, I'm strong, independent. That independent, just keep it. Because independent, for a lot of men, that's a red flag. We like, oh no, that means to us, I'm trying to help you. You can get mad all you want. That means to us, you a piece of work. And a lot of men are not going to want to put up with that. I have low patience. I work with children. And sometimes I have to be around them all day. My patience is not geared to do that. So lo and behold, if I have to deal with 5, 6, 7 year 8 and up to 12, and then I got to come home and deal with a 35-year-old child that want to talk to me out the side of their neck. So if I have my choice, which one you think we gonna choose? And so I'm trying to help you ladies. And I'm about to go because I got to get up with Marcus. Marcus Hodge, great organist. We finishing our show. But for whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to say that, and I'm closing. But I think the disconnect is real, but it's because we don't listen to each other. That's why I posted that picture that I used for topic of the week. This is the reason. This is the reason why there's a disconnect. If you see he's talking, she done flagged him off like I don't want to hear it. This is the disconnect. Men, we have our ways. We know we do some things that's jacked up. We understand that. We do. And it's a lot of stuff that we could do better. Men, it's a lot of stuff we could do better. But for those of us who are even trying to do better and the desiring a woman that has the traits that, or the woman that we want to be with, if we try to talk to you about it, we don't need you throwing it back at us. Everything we did back when the Flintstones was driving with their feet. We don't need that. We want you to be the better woman for us right now. The woman that I desire, you have to have a purpose. I don't deal with people that just exist. If you just one of those people that you just want to exist in this world and God will come kumbaya to your life, I'm not the person for you. I need somebody that's purpose driven. I need you to be into something with a passion, that because I'm a hustler and I don't like to see somebody just laying around. I don't like that. That bothers me. That shows laziness. That's a quality. I just told you one of the ones I'm looking for. Did they have something to do with her body? No. That it had nothing to do with the way she looked. You see how I came? But think about it, pause. But if I was to tell a woman like that and sit you down and say that to your face, a lot of these women would be mad. Who you think you are? I'm good the way I am. I'm strong and I'm independent. That right there, that's the problem. It's too many of you that act so manly that is just utterly disgusting to any man of worth. And that's why you're going to be by yourself. If that's not you, then God bless you. Black men, we love you. We don't hate you. We're not trying to bash you. And for God's sake, we're not gay. Just because we want a better quality of woman does not make us gay. It make us smart because we're the ones that's got to we control marriage. I don't know if you know this because I haven't seen a lot of y'all getting on one knee to us. We control that. And before we get on our knee or before we actually say, I do, you are not ours. You are not ours. We your boyfriend. But it takes a totally different thing when we walk down that aisle and we say yes, because now we're taking on everything. And a lot of men right now are saying, I don't know. I don't know. We don't know if we want to do that. And until we can come together and have great discussions, like dialogues, like what you see here and what I see in the comments and everything, until we can have that, this is where we're going to be. This is where we're going to be. The disconnect is real. This group is a gold mine. I love this group. It's a gold mine because I get to see what we think, men and women. I get to see what we think. There's some idiots up in there that are men that think they speak for me. They don't speak for me. They don't. You have to be in a different educational mind to think on my level, because some of that stuff, I can't even post that, bro. Was that even English, or did you use a rock and chisel to post that thing? I mean, what was it? We have our work to do, men. But one thing about men, we're used to you coming at us, pause. We're used to you saying stuff at us. And the biggest thing is, now that we've heard you, the insults, the shames, that doesn't work on us anymore. And so now we're pulling away from you. And if we cannot get with our women, we're going to become an extinct people. So we need to get that thing together. And it starts with people like me, starts with people like Trina. It starts with people like whoever expresses themselves. Trina, I see your comments. I see your posts. You do a very good job. I can't say I agree with everything and you don't agree with everything I post, but I still love the fact that you actually sparked the conversation. I think that needs to happen more. But the one thing that we cannot do is not be able to take criticism, no matter how harsh it can be. Sometimes the criticism can be harsh. I know I can be harsh at times. But it's always coming from a good place. I want to see you get the person that you want, and I want the person that I want. And I think we just need to find the common ground where we're not killing each other and batting and being nasty. On this platform, eventually when I get to the point where I'm taking calls and people coming online, I'm not going to rip you up. I want to hear from you. I want to know what's going on in your mind, because we can build this thing together. I'm not perfect and you're not perfect, but we can have a perfect community. That's what we can make perfect. You understand that? So I love you guys. I'm reading your comments. I have to look on my phone. Thank you, Keith. Thank you. Marriage is work, but preparation is necessary. I agree with you. I'm reading your comments through my phone. It's something that happened over here on Restream. Women have been saying things. Marriage is a lot for both sexes. So, okay, I see what you're saying, Trina. Okay, I do love you guys though. Next week we finish. That preacher's when we were talking about sex. Woo! I got something. Listen, next week it's gonna be deep, because we're talking about something that really a lot of people don't talk about. We already know that sex is taboo subject in church, but the way the church handles it, we gonna dig into that. That's gonna be interesting. Okay, but I do love you. I got to get up with Marcus, pause, and got to get the show together. If you are in Texas this weekend, I am in Louisville. I'm in Louisville Friday. I'm in Louisville Saturday. We have a concert, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of you if you're in the Texas area, in Dallas. I think that's close to Dallas. And then in July 17th, I will be in Atlanta that whole week for Stellars. So if you want to break bread with your boy, you know I did say I like to eat, pause. But now I'm not eating too much these days. I've dropped quite a few pounds. Tell me how y'all doing in the comment section with your weight loss. Has anybody started to do it with me or whatever, pause? I know I lost some pounds, y'all. Y'all may not even be able to recognize me come wintertime. I mean, it's crazy what I'm doing. I'm eating mostly vegetables. I'm trying to eat more lean meats. Man, it's crazy. I haven't really eaten much today, but I'm not going to eat because I don't want to eat this late, because it is kind of late. But hey, y'all should do that with me. Y'all should do this weight loss thing with me. Let's make this thing a thing. I think we all could do it, because a lot of us picked up some weight during COVID. And when that green outfit that you see in my picture, when it's got a little tight in the neck, I was like, oh no, got to do something about it. And I lost quite a few pounds, y'all, believe it or not. Quite a few pounds. And what do they call that? It's the fasting where you fast the whole day and you eat very minimal when you do eat. I think it's called intermittent fasting or something like that. But that helps a lot if you want to do that, okay? Let me see what you guys are saying. 5 pounds down. That's very good, man. That's very good, brother. Yeah, and I think we should do that. I think everybody should do that. I know my boy Cimarron lost quite a few. Man, I'm so proud of him, man. I'm happy for you, Cimarron. That dude, he looks good, y'all, for real. Not to say he did before. I mean, I'm sure y'all popped in his inbox. But anyway, I love y'all, okay? I do love you. I'm about to jump off of here. We got a show to finish. And for Stella's, that thing is going to be crazy. The music is crazy. The band is going to be crazy. And I got something. Oh, another thing before I go. Yeah, that's what it's called. Before I go, I have a surprise. It's a little project that I'm working on, and I have a band that I want to put together. And I'm going to do it like not C-dub way, but I do have an opening for a guitar player. So if you're a dope guitar player or you know somebody is a super dope, I don't want no scrubs. Send me a videotape of them playing in my inbox, okay? It's a good situation for him. You know what I'm saying? This thing I'm working on. I think he's going to like it. It's a little thing, little project. And yes, we do take care of all our people. I don't believe in not paying musicians, okay? So if you know any dope guitar players, that's, you know, in the Midwest to East, maybe somewhere in Atlanta areas, let me know. Send me a video of them playing, preferably playing something churchy, because I'm churchy, you know, I mean, something, but they got to rip. Don't give me no scrubs, okay? Give me somebody that can really, really play, okay? And when you do that, send it to my inbox, and I got something good for them. This is going to be a great situation. Now, I got everybody else. You know, I just need a guitar player, and they hard to come by in this area to play this kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm about to jump off of here, but I love you guys. And like I always say, wait, intermittent fasting? Oh, I saw that already. Next week we do our show, and we're gonna have so much fun. But I'm gonna jump off here and get ready to do this show finishing thing with Marcus. But I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll be back next week. Love you. Bye-bye.
Don't go, just leave. No stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. Just leave. No stay with me. I'm incomplete. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up. I got mixed emotions, can't make my mind up.